Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF here at 4:45 a.m. on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel and then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. We are a show aimed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who like to own their own business, and those who simply want to live in abundance like a boss. Today we're talking about service and productivity. What is the connection between being of service to people and productivity? All right. So thanks for being here. If you are enjoying the show, please swipe left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation. You can also go to productivethroughjoy.com. We offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting. We also speak to groups, organizations, universities about being productive through joy in a group setting. You can also go, of course, to michaeldatcher.com to learn more about us. So let's talk. Let's start the show. Again, today we're talking about service and productivity. We like to also in the morning show talk about the import of framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. As we know from 10th grade science, there's a scientific imperative behind the feeling of joy. And when the body's feeling joyful, what happens at a biochemical level is that the body is flooding itself with endorphins, and those endorphins can give us a sense of euphoria that we can then leverage to move ourselves towards our goals and objectives. However, at times when our minds are caught up in the drama of our day, the drama of our lives, even at the very beginning of our day, we get away from that potential of being in the joy, and instead our spirit is in the stress. Because as we know, when you are carrying trouble on your mind, it has a way of creating stress. And as we also know through modern science, stress is a killer, right? You want to deal with stress in your life, especially when you are about your dream making, especially when people are about making their dreams manifest, especially when you are an entrepreneur. All those things have a way of creating more pressure. Not necessarily a bad thing, because when you are going for it, you're going to feel many things, excitement, but the stakes typically are higher, right? That's just what it is, because you're out there, you're on the razor's edge. Literally, you're putting yourself out there in so many different ways, financially, emotionally. You're confronting and battling your fears, your insecurities. It's a lot. Being an entrepreneur, being someone kind of going for it in their dreams, where most people are, as we know from being alive, are mailing it in and hating the dreamers, hating the entrepreneurs, hating the people who walk on the razor's edge, because we provoke them and remind them of what they're not going for in their own lives. But that's a different topic altogether. But know that as you go for yours, haters will emerge from the woodwork. That's just what it is, because everyone needs a job, and the hater's job is to hate, and they do be about their job. So, but we know that, and we can't hate them for hating. In fact, we have to eventually serve them and love them, because that's what we do. You know, when you are about yours, you want to have a holistic way of abundance, and abundance is also about love, and loving those, even those, not being foolish, not being jeopardizing your health, your physical well-being, etc., or that of your family, but being able to check people, let them know what they're doing, and also to love them. You know, that's just what it is. We have to be about that love, right? So, so as you may also be able to tell, we're also interested in the ideal of using joy itself as a technology to move ourselves towards our goals and objectives, and we encourage again everyone on this show to start their own business. And so back to this idea of framing your day. And so we speak about framing your day with clients in the context of your mornings, creating a morning ritual, a ritual that you can lean upon throughout your day, because life happens with us, to us, along with us every single day. So it makes sense to us to have a ritualized way to approach it. Let me give you a brief snippet of my morning ritual to give you a sense, to serve as an exemplar, to make the point more clear. So in the mornings I wake up at 3:45 a.m., hella early. I do some reading, spiritual books, indoor business books. I do our show now at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then at 5, or not 5, that's at 5, at 4:45 at 5, I work on my current book until sunrise. And at sunrise, which is around 6:15 or so here in LA, I go to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. I bring my drum, I do yoga, I meditate, pray. It's a really powerful time here with the dolphins and the seagulls and me. I come back, I work on my book a while longer, then I go back to the beach to work on my, to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, come all the way back to my home here, rather to my gym here, Go's Gym in Venice to work to get my buff on, workout in. So by 9:30, guys, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins. Those endorphins give me a sense of euphoria that I can then leverage to move myself towards my goals and objectives, and which would be involved, of course, publishing, real estate, consulting, and public speaking. We're not saying do what I do at all. We're saying do what you do, and we help people find out what it is they do and want to do, and how they can construct a morning ritual to help them move in that direction. This is extremely important, guys. I cannot overstate this. Be in the practice of setting the foundation every day for those dreams to manifest. So, I'm reading two great books now. Well, one good book and one great book. The great book is the Nag Hammadi Reader Bam, or Library. There's many versions of this. This is a book of ancient scriptures that are Gnostic, Gnosis scriptures from the early first century and beyond. Very powerful. I'm also reading a book called Own the Moment, which is what it sounds like it is, a book about owning the moment. And from those two books, I extract some wisdom, which I call the morning chant. Today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, my thoughts find the good in service, the good in situations, and the good in people. And I think about that throughout my day, that morning chant. I place it on my phone, for example. I contemplate that idea and also create the morning and afternoon shows. So today we're talking about service and productivity. All right, so let's dive in. Oh, again, if you're enjoying the show, please swipe right or left across your device. Invite people to join the conversation. Please have me come out and speak to your group or organization. We have a very, very powerful public program. Or if you're interested in our private one-on-one consulting, please do that as well. Go to productivethroughjoy.com, highlight us, and definitely become a subscriber to YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. It's totally free. I did say free. 1, 2, 3, 4, free. Holler at us, and we'll holler at you. All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a really important topic, complicated topic, service and productivity. Point one is that you want to have an attitude of service, right? You want to have an attitude of service. I'm smiling because those of us who are about service, we know how complicated being of service is. Because in a world where people are encouraged to be selfish and to exploit, when you are of service, there's a great potential to be exploited, unappreciated, and other things that do not feel good. Things that I've experienced many times in many ways. So you have to find a way to maintain an attitude that is positive about service. So recently, I've been struggling with this idea because I've been in service quite a bit in my life. And as I was saying, at times people exploit that, people take advantage of it, people see it as weakness. Then you're forced to check people, then your feelings are getting hurt, then you blow up on people at times over smaller things. This whole dynamic emerges. And so I have been recently, because I've had some really crazy situations emerge, service-based, where I was being of service, and there's an old tagline: "No good deed goes unpunished." And this is related to this whole thing about people think about service, exploiting it, taking advantage of it, actually attacking you for service, which is crazy. But your service, your good, provokes in people what they should be doing. Your love, your attitude, your joyfulness. Because service comes in many ways. Service is just your attitude, coming to a space, being about love, smiling, being genuinely open to people, taking care of your kids, being a good parent, being a good lover, being a good partner to your partner. I mean, just being on it. And when people, and trying, being out there, and when you're out there, people are provoked. And so you have to also develop a way to defend yourself at times and check people. But that's even that. I think you make mistakes in checking people. You read people wrong. I mean, it's pretty complicated. The point, though, is that it's work. Service really is work. and I lost my love for service. It was like it became a chore because I have a lot going on, a lot of responsibilities, things I want to do just for me. And so I've been struggling with service, really, really struggling with service. My girl, Carmen, who's organizing a really important service station, is a teacher at her school today, which I'm participating in. Just seeing her service, her beautiful heart, encouraged me to reevaluate where I've been at in service. And so the point is that you want to have an attitude of service, and even when it gets difficult, as I'm sharing now, even when it gets challenging, you want to embrace it, which goes into point two. As you begin to embrace service, even when it gets painful, and it will get painful, that's just what it is, being able to become more effective at checking people when you need to, speaking your truth to people when they're acting inappropriate, and then keeping it moving, not allowing it to build up and fester. That just eats away at you. Eats away at me, that's for sure. But as you begin to embrace that service, you benefit because it feeds your soul. I recall I was going through a very difficult time years ago now, and a friend of mine who was going through an even more difficult time, frankly, just really reached out and just helped me. In his time of basic trouble, he reached out to me and helped me. And I was so struck by that. He served me, basically, was of service to me in the middle of his own crisis. And I was like, wow, I was so convicted by that, right? And that showed me that in the middle of our own crises at times, when we serve, it just feels right to get our minds off of belly gazing. In fact, one of the best things you can do, I learned this from that situation, is when you're going through a difficult time, serve other people. Although the impulse, at least for me, is to medicate or to watch TV or be alone, be in my cave. The thing when you're feeling that way is to get out and go be of service, right? Which goes into point three. As that begins to be a lifestyle, where service begins to be a lifestyle, you have to really work on it. So you don't do it out of the wrong attitude, because it can make you really tired. It can be a lot to be of service. You can be a server who serves, who's mean. I've seen that before. People who are in service but who are mean about it. you want to be conscious of how you're serving, for sure. You also want to be eventually as you serve, you don't want people to try to exploit you. You want to be able to address people's inappropriateness, not get all upset, but just name it and keep it moving. Say you don't deserve that. It can be a simple line. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that attitude. Whatever, you find your own way to language it, but then you keep it moving so it doesn't begin to fester and well up in you. But as you begin to find, that's important because you don't want to get burned out with service. So what I'm saying to you, and what I was saying to you earlier, was that I was getting burned out on service. Served so much, given so much, and listen, a lot of times it's true. I mean, people are attacking you because of your service. That's, what's good about that is that you learn that you do it for the love, because it's not for the praise or not for anything. We're oftentimes volunteering this work. So, but through it all, when it's your lifestyle, you begin to see an extraordinary benefit because you are becoming more abundant. You just feel good about yourself and the world, and that's a way to also serve yourself. Boom, goes to that dynamite. That's it for today's show. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Please go to productivethroughjoy.com. Have me come out and speak to your group, school, or organization. We also offer live one-on-one Productive Through Joy consulting. Definitely become a subscriber on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. It's totally free. Reach out, get these videos straight away. I think that's it. We'll see you this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. If you are out and about, come on out to the new Los Angeles Charter. We're having off Washington, near Burnside and Washington, between Washington and Venice Boulevard here in LA, doing a beautification service, helping school children and neighborhood being painted. Some really nice work happening for community there. If you're out, come on out, represent. Shout out to Carmen Bordes for her work organizing this and with her teachers there. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you this afternoon. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.